Right, this is the coldest open for the Brick by Brick podcast. We're going to be talking about trade targets, the blueprint to beating the Saints. We'll even help you make some money with our good friends over at Circus Sports. Let's start the show. Let's talk some Bears right now. Welcome back to the Brick by Brick podcast, presented by Circus Sports and Empire Today. Make sure you're hitting up our good friends over at Empire Today for all your flooring needs, and we appreciate their support always to the program. And when you're hitting up Circa, make sure you download your new bookie today at circusports.com. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. We're back here on the Brick by Brick after show. It's not quite the after show. It's the Thursday show. We're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit because I'm excited for Sunday. It's finally gotten to this point now for me that I cannot wait for game days. Before last year,
it feels great.
We were kind of dreading them.
Yeah.
And now I'm not. Greg Braggs, I'm your host. Alongside me, as always, is Jerry Azumah and Lance L. Boogie Briggs. How we doing today, gentlemen?
Doing excellent.
We're streaking, so things are good.
Yeah, we're streaking. Actually, we were kind of fighting before the show started because we got some discrepancies about the set. Briggs is taking exception to the jersey selection on the table.
All I said, Braggs, all I said was, listen, can we put the most productive Bear? We're going to display something. Let's display the most productive Bear. Okay? We all agree that this is we're getting away from the participation awards. You don't just get to be up there for participating now. All right? Let's just put the guys up there that should be up there. I think Tremaine Edmonds should be up there.
That's a good one.
Edmonds jersey. Okay.
Williams, maybe.
Come on, man.
Yeah. I mean, I think Carm said yesterday he's had the most sacks for the last 3 games that he's had in a stretch like that for his whole career with the Bears. So, I mean, he has been all over the place. Maybe we do need to invest in a Tremaine Edmonds jersey. I mean, Jerry said he might bust out some of the old school threads.
Yeah, we should bring out some vintage stuff. Some old Azumah jerseys, Lance Briggs jerseys. We got them.
Or some Blackhawk jerseys. They won 8-3 last night. So, listen.
Some Bulls jerseys.
Yeah, we got a Jordan jersey over there.
Those definitely vintage. Definitely have to be vintage if we're doing Bulls.
Yeah, the Blackhawks certainly had a big win last night. Shout out to the CHGO Blackhawks crew. If you didn't get a chance to watch their post-game show, make sure you check it out. But yeah,
maybe Moody.
A Moody jersey?
Yeah,
that one might be short-lived.
He was making all those field goals.
Are you surprised?
I don't think they've printed yet. I don't think they've printed his yet.
It's a special order.
It doesn't seem like Ben Johnson wants to print him because he said yesterday that Cairo's still the starter if he's healthy. Do you agree with that?
I don't know. Moody looked pretty sharp.
4 or 5 in the rain.
Yeah, I mean
he did have the one block that was the longer field goal. So.
Why did he get released from San Fran?
Because of his inconsistencies. I mean,
there it is.
Yeah. So, but he was 4 or 5.
He was very consistent with us.
Yeah. So you just never knew. You never know. Maybe a change of scenery. Certainly won us a big game on Monday night. Yeah, we'll see
What's the point of getting the Moody jersey, putting it up there if he's going to be gone and Cairo's going to be back up? It's going to be gone already, fellas. Come on.
We don't really know that yet.
Yeah, we got to look into an Edmonds one. Maybe if DeAndre Swift keeps doing his thing, maybe we're going to have to get a Swiftie.
Rome Odunze. I mean, he's been the most productive on the offensive side of the football. So
I did reveal to Jerry, I hated saying this. It really hurt but I have a Briggs jersey at home, but I don't have an Azumah jersey.
We'll get that corrected.
Yeah, I feel bad. I actually have a good friend I went to high school with, John Abatey. And I actually reached out to you back in the day before we really like formally knew each other.
Mm-hmm.
And every game day, every Sunday, he wore a authentic Jerry Azumah jersey.
That's amazing.
Every game day.
That's amazing.
He's your biggest fan, no doubt about it. Shout out to John Abatey.
Man, they're still out there.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
Yeah. But I felt bad, Briggs, that I have a Briggs jersey, but not an Azumah one.
Don't feel bad. We
Did
can correct that.
Did you ever wear the Briggs jersey? I mean, just wondering, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Double
I
dip.
did.
Sounds like you did. I feel like you didn't.
Well, we're close. Briggs and Braggs. But no, I got it. I got it signed fairly quickly. I've told this story before on the air, but I tricked Lance. At training camp, he's on the golf cart going to do a radio hit, and I told him I went to Arizona, and he stopped the cart and signed it for me. Which
got him.
It was a lie. It was like, bam,
Lance
got him.
Lance is very easy to trick.
No, what? I'm not.
That was the easy. That was my.
How did you get him to believe you went to college?
If you went to the University of Arizona, I'm going to show you love. If you're a Bears fan, I'm going to show you love. You know, if you're from Northern California, I'm going to show you love. Like that's
little advice for the autograph hunters. I mean, I used to go to camp, and that was one of outside of watching practice. One of my goals was to get autographs, and I started upgrading to a point where I'd get jerseys and go for my favorite players and wanted to get their autographs. But my trick was to say that what high school they went to, what hometown they lived in, or what college they went to. One of those three.
Nice.
I would get.
You got a system.
Yeah, it was a system. Mm-hmm. Because everybody's yelling the same things.
Did it work?
It absolutely worked.
Yeah,
and I got called out on
a little
it
research.
I got called out on it a few times. I'd be like yelling like somebody was from North Carolina. He's like, "You're not from there." I was like, "I don't know, but you turned. You got your attention.
But can I get your autograph now? Now that I got your attention?
Yeah, exactly. So those are the little tricks of the trade. Now I'm not allowed to harass players for autographs anymore. It's it's a little sad.
We'll take care of you. I got an
What's
Azumah jersey somewhere.
What's the last jersey that you wore? Or wore this year?
Yeah, I still wear a jersey when we can. I mean,
What jersey are you? What's the last jersey that you wore? You put on?
A Caleb Williams jersey.
Caleb
I got a
Williams. Okay,
yeah,
there it is.
Yeah, I got
Did
a
you
Caleb.
Did you put on a Justin Fields?
Yeah, I had a Fields jersey. Absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Has he won a game yet?
It doesn't matter. As long as
I had a white and navy Justin Fields jersey.
I know Steven.
And now I only have a Navy Caleb. But, yeah, no, to your question, Justin has not won a game yet. And I know that really breaks Lance's heart over there. That's your boy.
No. Hey, listen, man. Hey, the Bears are winning. The Bears are streaking. All right?
Stop talking about our exes.
The Bears are streaking.
Well, let me ask.
Since we're on this, did you wear a Rex Grossman jersey?
Yeah, I had a Rex. I didn't have an Orton.
You didn't have an Orton?
You didn't have an Orton?
Yeah,
Okay,
when it was Rex versus Orton, when that controversy would go down at camp, I was a Rex guy.
What about Forte?
I wanted a quarterback that could stretch the field.
What about Matt Forte?
I had a Forte jersey, 100%.
Forte was the first jersey I ever owned.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a great one.
First jersey I ever owned was Curtis Conway.
Wow, Seaway.
Wow.
Seaway.
Okay.
USC.
Okay. All right.
What
about a Raymond Harris?
I didn't have a Raymond Harris. I did have a Marcus Robinson jersey that I never got rid of, and I was certain Marcus Robinson was going to be every bit as good as Randy Moss because his rookie year, he was balling. He was
great for Minnesota.
Good year.
And I actually met Marcus Robinson at a Soldier Field event like a few years ago, and I knew he was going to be there because it was like on the itinerary, and so I brought the Marcus Robinson jersey. I was so excited to meet him. I got ink on that. So
what high school did he go to?
I don't remember. He was just at that point. I didn't have to yell his high school because he was just happy someone had a Marcus Robinson jersey in the house. So, yeah, we're just doing our thing, guys.
Gotta bring him on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. He's still around.
He's definitely still around.
He has like a restaurant near the stadium, or at least he did, because he'll show up at our tailgate lot every once in a while.
He's been around.
Shout out to Marcus Robinson for sure. So
Marty Booker.
Marty Booker. I didn't have a Marty Booker jersey. He was good. He was good. So
He was crazy good.
how about you guys? What jerseys did you own growing up?
Walter Payton.
No, come on, for real. Who'd you have?
Walter Payton.
Really? I mean, who'd you grow up a fan of?
Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice.
Deion Sanders.
You were a 49ers fan growing up.
I was just a fan of just really good players.
Yeah.
So
But you didn't have a specific team?
the Bears. So Walter Payton.
Really?
I had Walter Payton.
Before you got to college, you were a
The
Bears
reason
fan.
why I was a running back is because of Walter Payton.
Wow.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That was the reason why.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I had the 3-4.
What a
for
cool
sure.
story then. And then you get
That is cool.
drafted
Then I got drafted by the Chicago
as a
Bears. It's
running
amazing.
back.
No, not really as a running back. As an athlete. I was like, what do you guys?
And then they put you at DB. I mean,
And they
like,
made me a DB.
but
Like,
you
let's
got
try
to
this
your,
backwards thing.
But you got to your favorite team.
I got here.
That must have been just such a range of emotions there.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I mean, it was a childhood team that I grew up watching.
Uh-huh.
Walter Payton was my idol. You know, I was a running back because of Walter Payton, drafted by the Chicago Bears. I mean, there's no
Yeah.
better script.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Well, the best script would have been you got drafted as a running back, and then
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know what I mean, like you wore number
worked
35 or 33.
should've
You
held
know,
out.
like I was one number away
You
from
should have
him.
held out your rookie year until they made you a running
I know
back.
I've never played, but I'm going to hold out.
Lance, who were you a fan of growing up?
My first favorite football player was Marcus Allen. I was a big Marcus Allen fan,
That's a
but
good
I
one.
was, but I was a Niners fan growing up. So that whole team, Montana, Rice, and Ronnie Lott, and all those guys. But my favorite linebacker was Junior Seau. Junior Seau was the man. I loved his energy. I loved the way he played downhill. So if there was a linebacker that I wanted to be like, it was definitely Junior.
So, Lance, you always wanted to be a linebacker?
Nope. So I will say this: the greatest linebacker to ever play that I've ever known didn't even actually play football. When I watched the movie The Program, Alvin Mack made me want to play defense. Yeah, and that's the God's honest truth. Like I only wanted to run the ball. I saw Alvin Mack on The Program, and I was like, "Whoa!" Like,
That's it.
offensive guys don't think like this at all.
That's a good one.
And even though he was a movie character, to me he was loosely or closely based off of a defensive mentality. So it changed everything for me. And from there on, I was like, that's who I am. I'm more of that than I am the offensive minded guy.
Like a Willie Beaming type of guy.
No,
My name is Willie.
you're more Willie Beeman. You're definitely Willie Beeman.
I keep the ladies dreaming and all my fans. You can't defeat me.
We got to go back and watch that.
Oh man, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, you 49. When you bring up Junior Seau, that takes me back to when the Chargers got blown out by the 49ers in the Super Bowl. I'll always remember that Super Bowl for one reason. My mom grounded me and wouldn't let me watch the game because of my grades. And she knew how much I loved, the Super Bowl. And that was the only way to like get through to me was to, like, take things away that I truly loved, and that was sports. So I wasn't allowed to watch the Super Bowl that year. And so, back in the day, VCRs, turn the TV off, but put it on the channel and then record it.
Right.
You could still record even though the TV wasn't on, as long as it was on the right channel.
Oh, the beauty of
And so I recorded the Super Bowl, and I had it on VHS.
the beauty of technology back in the day.
Yeah. So
Kids will never know.
shout out to Ma. Gotcha. Still watch that Super Bowl. How you
Mom,
like
I thought maybe your mom took away like a project, a brick project. She's like, I'm taking this project away
No,
from you.
it took me a lot. Why are
You'll go
that's-
be laying bricks today, buddy.
No, I'm sure she'd have been happy to hit me over the head with a brick many times growing up. That's another thing about this set. We don't have the brick on the table, Steven. You know?
Oh, Stephen,
There's a
man.
lot
You
of
could have put the
disrespect.
brick there. You could have walked over there 20 feet that way.
All right, well, that's fine. And we got the housekeeping out of the way. It's pretty cool stories you guys shared there. But we'll get into some of the items of the day. We're going to talk about some of the trade targets the Bears can be looking at here coming up, because the trade deadline's just a few weeks away in early November. So when we come back, we'll look at those. But first, a quick shout out to our good sponsors. Whatever the sport, the app to bet is Circa Sports Illinois. Circa Sports, it's sports betting the way it should be. Circa Sports Illinois has high betting limits, low holds, and exceptional customer service. They always take care of the people. Bet on all your favorite teams in every game this season, whether it's spreads, props, futures, or in-game. Circa Sports has it for you. Fund and bet like a pro from anywhere, anytime in Illinois. The key to Circa is, unlike some of the other sports books, they're not taking 17%. They're only taking 3% because they want to make sure they're getting money in your pocket. So whether it's the NFL here in Week 7, we're going to help you make some money here later in the show in our Da Bet segment, or the NBA or NHL just getting underway, or even the MLB playoffs. Hopefully the Brewers get knocked out. Download your new bookie today at circasports.com. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. And, of course, got to give a quick shout-out to our good friends over at Mando. Mando is where you want to go to make sure you're smelling fresh. Whether the crisp air or the fall football, bonfires, it's all here right now. But if you're like most guys, you're still putting in the hard work. And yes, that means sweat. So don't let body odor sideline you. You know that feeling when it's game day and you've been working hard all week. Your lucky jersey might be smelling just a little too lucky. Well, let's be honest, regular deodorant just doesn't cut it after a long day. But there's a real game changer, and that's Mando Deodorant Plus Sweat Control. This isn't just another cover-up. Mando is one stick, two jobs, power for older, and sweat control. So shop Mando at shopmando.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Mando's got you covered with Deodorant Plus Sweat Control. Say goodbye to sweat stains and say hello to long-lasting freshness. All right, we're back here on the Brick by Brick podcast with Lance Briggs and Jerry Azumah. Please hit that like button while you're hanging out. We appreciate your support to the program. But let's get into it, Steven. You know, we were talking a few days ago and thinking about trade targets, and thank you for bringing the bricks to the set.
The bricks have arrived.
The bricks have arrived. But I want to throw some trade targets at you, Jerry and Lance, you know, and see what your guys' thoughts are. We're still a little early in the game. You know, trade deadline's still a few weeks away. But let's start out with the name everybody keeps bringing up, and that's from the Tennessee Titans, defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons. When I say that name, does that garner any interest from either of you guys?
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like we've done some real investing, I believe, in our interior. To bring him in, does it help us get better? Yeah, but we've spent quite a few dollars on our defensive line. We need to get them to produce at the dollar amount or standard that they're supposed to. Yes. Time for them to meet the standard rather than go get someone else, you know, to come in and help us meet that doggone standard. It's early. We're streaking. We're playing better. We're trending in the right way. So let's get our guys motivated to play where we need them to.
I still also think that we're trying to figure things out defensively on the defensive line. No different than the offensive line. You know, they've been shuffling things around and trying to find the right people to do the right things within this scheme. It's still relatively new to these guys. Let's let things happen. Let's keep on investing with the guys that we have right now, figure out what schemes work, and let them play. I don't think that we need to panic right now and get one person and hope that this person changes the whole complexity of the defense.
Yeah, I mean, for me, you just spent a 3-year, $43-ish million contract on Grady Jarrett.
Right.
You got Javon Dexter. We got the jersey right there.
Yeah.
We haven't seen much production there. You still have Andrew Billings. I mean,
Sweat.
For me, defensive tackle should be one of the deepest positions on the Bears right now. And if we're going
Correct.
into the trade market, I don't want to be targeting something that I just said should be our deepest position.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, right? I mean, a player like this, I mean, he's a big-time player, right?
Yeah, he's a beast.
I mean, he is a beast. So, like, you always could use beasts on your team. But to your point, they invested not only free agency money, but draft equity, with Shamar Turner. But here in this last game, Lance, we did see Shamar Turner take reps on the edge. They put him outside.
Yeah.
And I know you were big on Shamar Turner coming out of Texas A&M. What did you think of that when they threw him outside and he actually played pretty well out there at times as well? Is that a spot you think we'll see more of him out there?
We're probably going to see him more out there because when he's in the interior, he's in the defensive linebacker's lap, and that's a problem. As you know, he's getting pushed off. He's getting blown back in double teams, and I know that you watch a lot of players' highlights, when they get drafted, but, none of which did I see when he got double teamed in those highlights, him getting driven back the way that I've seen him getting driven back, against the run this year. So, yeah, I guess a better fit would be for him to be outside where he'll have to face less double teams and he'll face more tight ends.
Gervon Dexter right now has 2.5 sacks. It says, I think he did have a sack or a sack and a half against the Commanders. So
that leads the team, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Low bar, but.
Well, I guess that's why we got the jersey up there.
Well, they did start to apply a little more pressure against Washington.
They did.
I mean, so.
I would like to see Austin Booker.
Austin Booker should return.
So he's going to return, and I'd like to see what he has going on. I really think that he will have a presence on this defensive line. But we'll see. I mean, this is all still uncharted territory still.
Yeah. I don't know, Zoom. The question's still out for Austin Booker. He's a guy that plays extremely well in the preseason. And then somehow, some way, when he get into the season and we get against the real guys that are really out there, he struggles. So the question's still out.
Last year? Because he hasn't really played a lot this year.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about, no, but he played in the preseason. He showed out in the preseason.
Yeah.
I feel like he showed out last year in the preseason too. And then when we got into the season, when he was able to play, you didn't hear his name called.
Yeah, I think that he was hurt a little bit also. So I think now it's going to be different. Hopefully it's different.
We all hurt.
We'll see.
I actually am kind of leaning where Briggs is right now. Like I'm not gonna take it off the table that Booker can be an impact player, but he definitely still has to prove it. I see a lot of fans being like, "Oh, Booker, when Booker returns, we've got this." Well, we don't know what we've got in Austin.
Yeah,
we don't know.
We don't know yet.
It's
and
still too early.
He's certainly in the preseason, and we talked about this, in some of our preseason post-game shows and breakdowns after games where Austin Booker led the NFL in sacks in the preseason this year. I think it did come in a different way than it did in preseason year number 1, where you were seeing a little more power to go with that speed that he has.
Yeah.
But to Briggs's point, now you got to do it against the real deal Holyfields in the regular season. So we'll have to wait and see.
Well, he's not hurt anymore. He's healthy, so we got to put him out there and see what he can do.
Yeah.
Let him spin.
Oh,
yeah. And
this whole hurt thing. Okay. All right, man. All right. Okay.
I mean, he hasn't
played.
played.
What
do you want him to do? He hasn't played.
I've seen Jerry Azumah hobbled on the practice field. Couldn't barely walk. And I was like, damn, you're going to play this week? Step onto the field, get 2 picks against the Washington. Back then, they were the Redskins. Walk off into the halftime. And I was like, oh, okay, that's why you do it. Okay. That's why you got that break. I get it. That was hurt. Okay.
Yeah, I was hurt.
So show me.
all right. He's going to show you this Sunday, it sounds like, because they did list him as full go yesterday on the injury report. So we'll get some more injury updates today from the Bears, or at least when this show is being aired. I'm sure it'll already be updated. So we'll have to wait and see, but it does seem like they're starting to figure out somewhat of a rotation on the edge. Obviously, you got Montez Sweat trying to do his thing, but Dominique Robinson starting to emerge a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Seeing where he's going. He had a good game against Washington. Shamar Turner's getting some reps on the outside. You got Daniel Hardy, of course, and then, we'll see what Austin Booker can do here coming up, hopefully on Sunday. Well, we do have a few more names to throw at you guys. I mean, you kind of tipped your hand here a little bit in terms of where you're at in terms of adding, a player. But
you want to add Wilson?
We're not going to add Zach Wilson here, but we could potentially look at a guy like Bradley Chubb.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Let's roll through some of these other guys' options. You got Trey Hendrickson with the Bengals.
Too expensive.
Well, I mean, if you're only having him for 1 year,
expensive.
You know what?
He doesn't want a 1 year deal.
No,
right.
he doesn't.
You're not. That's not. Yeah, you can't get him.
But right now, he's currently on a 1 year deal, and if you could get him over here to finish the season out, I think
let's just add more money to this defensive line.
Yeah, I'm not trading a second round pick or something around that value for a rental.
All right, let's get through the rest of these players, and then we can have that discussion.
Keep on spending money.
You have Quinnen Williams, defensive tackle from the Jets. Oh,
that'd be a nice addition.
I would trade one of our interior guys for him. For Quinnen Williams, I'd trade one of our interior guys for him. Yes.
We know what he can do. He can penetrate the line. He can blow up plays. Like, he is legit for sure.
Yeah.
I would entertain that.
Well,
I would entertain it.
Yeah, holster the running back here for a second, because I think this is an interesting conversation because, all right, you're saying you'd trade Briggs. You're saying you'd trade one of your D linemen for Quinnen Williams.
I'd trade one of our interior linemen for Quinnen Williams. Quinnen Williams, I think, is one of the premier interior guys. So he's gonna get penetration, and everybody's gonna benefit from his play. So Montez Sweat, Dio Adebango.
Yes, you said it right.
So you'd trade Jervon Dexter or Dio Dangbo for Quinnen Williams.
Absolutely. Dio's not an interior guy. He's an outside guy, but I'm trading. I absolutely would trade for Quinnen Williams, yes.
Yeah,
It's funny. With the defense, he's better.
With the defense that they're running right now, you need a guy that can penetrate the middle of the football field, the A-gap, immediately and blow things up. And then everything else seems to kind of work from that, like Lance alluded to. So if you can get a guy like that on your defensive line, oh, my goodness.
Well, it is funny when I was
changed the whole complexity of the defense.
It is funny when I was talking about the edge rotation, I forgot to say Dio Dangbo because he's not doing anything. Yeah. And I said it on social media during the game. If I see him try to do that spin move off the line of scrimmage one more time, where it's a half spin because as he spins, the offensive lineman just pushes him away on his back. And it's an embarrassing move.
And if I see a Dio 55 jersey on our set, I'm going to puke. Okay? Let you know right now.
Well, I mean, but this is kind of the point, and Steven, you kind of brought to this. So when they kind of got their ears perked up for Quinnen Williams, and hey, maybe we'd trade somebody that's instead of just trading a draft pick, trade somebody on the defensive line for that player. If you look at Trey Hendrickson, you bring up the money, Steven.
The money, the draft capital you have to move.
So what if you could trade Montez Sweat for Trey Hendrickson?
I would do it. Yeah, well, it would be contingent on an extension, and a lot of times teams allow you to talk to that player first and, kind of get the framework figured out first. If that was a scenario, yeah, I'd move Montez Sweat yesterday.
Would you trade Quinnen Williams for Jervon Dexter?
Yes, because Quinnen Williams, he's 27 years old. I still think he hasn't really hit that. He's maybe just entering the prime of his career. And, we've had Jervon here for a bit, and I think he's shown some improvements year over year. But if this team thinks that they're a playoff team, then you have to start pushing your chips in a little bit here. And to this point, we haven't really seen too much of that.
And how old's Jeffrey Simmons? Because I do think he kind of falls in the same line of Quinnen Williams. Like this dude's Jeffrey
27,
Simmons.
28.
Jeffrey Simmons is just as much a game wrecker as Quinnen Williams. I'm with you guys on this. And that's why I'm kind of glad I kind of pulled you in here. Like to start, you're like, I don't want to add anybody. 28. Let's figure out who the D-line rotation is. But when we're talking about game wreckers, the Bears need game wreckers. I've been saying that, since the offseason. We got some guys, especially in the secondary, that can make playmakers, but you need game wreckers. And there's a difference.
But if we're going to make an investment, too, we got to make sure that we got to think future, too, and we got to think about where we are in our division and what kind of run we can make for the playoffs also. Are we a playoff team right now?
And that's the $1 million question.
I don't know.
That is the $1 million question, right? Because this is what I was telling Steven. To me, any trade talk that fans are going to have over the next few weeks, because the trade deadline, I think, is November 2nd. It's either November 2nd or November 4th. Steven will help me out here in a second. But regardless, the Bears have 4 games coming up. It's November 4th. Thank you, Steven. The Bears have 4 games coming up where you have the Saints at home.
Yeah.
Then you play the Ravens.
Then you got the Bengals.
These
are all winnable games.
Yep. And then after the Bengals, it's the Giants.
Giants, I believe.
It's the Giants. And
we can go on an incredible run.
All 4 of those teams have a losing record right now. All 4 of those teams right now are picking in the top 10 in the draft right now. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the Ravens are getting Lamar Jackson back, so that's a little deceiving. But for the other 3 teams, there's no saving what's ailing them right now. Right. And so the Bears have to your question of are they a playoff team? To me, we can't start trading for players until they've earned that they are a true playoff contender. Exactly. You have 4 games coming up here, and yes, we're taking it 1 game at a time. But if you go 3-1 in this next 4 games and you're 6-3,
I think it changes things.
Now we're talking about risking trading a player or trading draft capital to try to make a playoff push. Do you agree with that?
I definitely agree with that. But we have to wait and see. We have to keep on winning because that's one of the most important parts of this.
Because right now they're 2 field goals, whether a block kick or a missed one from Moody. Yeah. From the difference between being 3-2 and 2-4.
We gotta stay healthy too. We gotta stay healthy too. You got to think of if we go 3-1. How healthy are we? Are there injuries to key positions? And is there somebody that we might need to fill that void so that we can get us over that next hump? So, health is the key, I think, for a lot of successful teams. You have teams that are really good and they have all these key injuries that really set them back that year, and so let's see how that plays out as well.
Yeah, it's going to be an important, 3-game stretch. So we're gonna have to see if they can show improve and keep on collecting these W's, because that's one of the most important parts right there. They keep on collecting these W's and they can possibly sneak into the playoffs. And if we're right on the cusp with that, then maybe we do make a move.
Man, if they go 3-1 in this next,
it's doable.
It is very doable. This is going to be a big one here coming up. It's going to be exciting, and we're going to talk about that here coming up on the other side of the break. We're going to give you the blueprint, as we always do, to beating the Saints. So don't go away. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. We just passed 90,000 subscribers. And when we get there, I do apologize, Steven, because I know you also meant to bring up Breece Hall.
Oh yeah, I definitely did.
And so I don't want to take the win from your sails. To me, DeAndre Swift just had a big game, but you're still got your eyes on Breece?
Yeah, Jerry, you were on with Jarrett Payton yesterday, and I think you made a good point. He was showing video of the holes that the offensive line created, and he said, you probably could have run for first downs on those, and you said probably 5. You said probably 5 a carry. I agree. Honestly, the offensive line did so good. I'm not trying to take anything away from DeAndre Swift, but they could cut him for some savings after the season. And Breece Hall, he's in a walk year right now. For me, I would seriously consider moving maybe a 3rd-round pick for Breece Hall and try to get him extended after that. And then you don't have to go into the draft next year trying to find a running back again.
That's a high pick.
I would do it. Breece Hall's a premier player at his position. He's averaging 4.7 yards per carry right now.
Steven, allow your offensive line to continue to open holes, but let them continue to trend. If they keep trending that way, shoot, like they said, it doesn't matter who's back there. They're opening holes like that. Anybody can run through it. Let's hope that. I wonder
why people aren't high on Swift. How come people just aren't high on him?
Well,
what is it about Swift that they're not high?
For me, the biggest question mark when they signed DeAndre Swift last season was he had never had a fully healthy season, and to I mean, I don't want to say it like this, but to my surprise, he had a fully healthy season last year. And with that, he averaged a career low 3.8 yards per carry.
Yeah, but the offensive line was not really that great. How many times did Caleb get sacked?
And how many times?
And how many times did we go through a whole cycle of, well, let's put this guy in, and we'll put this guy in? They were the whole year. They were trying to figure out what combination worked on the offensive line, and basically nothing really worked.
I saw a guy last season that didn't want to run between the tackles. He kept trying to bounce everything outside and hit the home run. And Ben Johnson himself kind of called that out in one of his opening press conferences. This season, he seems to be trusting.
Yeah, well, the blocking is different also.
Yeah, I mean, it's still changing.
Even you wouldn't want to run through those tackles either. You wouldn't want to run between tackles last year. Trust me.
You're right. I definitely.
He would try to bounce it out to the outside also.
I'm taking a knee. Screw that.
Well, hey, and this is why this is coming up to be a big game. DeAndre Swift in the last game had 14 carries for 108 yards, a 7.7 yards per carry average, 2 catches out of the backfield for 67 yards with that huge touchdown.
That's where he's dangerous too, and that's where he can excel is the extension of the handoff, which is the little dump passes and the quick passes.
Yeah.
You get Swift out in the space, he can create some things, and we saw that last week.
Well, and as I've said before, I said it yesterday, if the Bears found their left tackle in Theo Benedict, we'll see. Still a long way to go for him to prove that. But if they have, then all of a sudden you may not have to use your first-round pick on a left tackle, and maybe a lot of Bears fans keep bringing up the running back out of Notre Dame, Jeremiah Love, who might be kind of around the area of.
He's a burner, but you also got to realize this too: 7.7 yards per carry is not what's going to be the average each game. 14 carries. We're talking about a running back load that's getting 19 to 20 carries. We're talking about a 4.4 type average is a very good average. Anything over 4 is a good average. That's more realistic than the 7.7 for 14 carries. Yeah. That you know what I'm saying? Like
100%. No, he's 7.7 might be the best he does all year, but does show his potential of what he can do when everything is blocked up correctly. Yeah. So just like a good O-liner and a good coordinator shouldn't be a shot when a quarterback plays well. Like, oh, well, he's got all this. Well, running backs, they need a good O-line too. So,
absolutely.
The Eagles, Saquon Barkley is the best running back in the league, but he's got the best offensive line.
The offensive line is incredible.
And so you see how that becomes a multiplier. So, but that being said, let's see them stack that, and we'll talk about potentially how they can do that. I know I just brought up Jeremiah Love, but I have to say as a Notre Dame fan, their backup running back, Jadarian Price. I think Jadarian Price might be better.
Really?
I know sounds.
How much does Jeremiah Love weigh? Do you think?
205.
Sounds about right.
He's not super big.
He's not. That's why we need a guy that's about 220, 215, 220.
A true.
All right, that's a guy that moves the change. And give me somebody with the mentality like a scatterboot.
Well, Jeremiah Love is 6 foot 215, but he has had some injury history. So that's something to consider.
I mean, would you want to use a first-round pick on a running back? Because I mean, we're
if
saying
he's that good.
And yeah,
he got to be that guy.
If he's that good.
Or do you want to? And this is where I'm going back to my original point. Would you spend a third-round pick on somebody that you already know is that guy?
Right.
All right, let's do this. Let's do this. How about let's think about a first-round type talent. If you have a Adrian Peterson coming out of Oklahoma as an option in the first round, are you taking him?
Absolutely.
Yes.
100%. All right.
I was killing 100%. For the Bears to trade up for Ashton Genty. I didn't care. I was sitting there like, what? Once we got close to the draft, and I was talking trench drunk all off season, and then we get 3 days before the draft. I'm like, screw it, like a drug addict. I'm like, screw it, trade your picks for Ashton Genty. Hey, he showed it when the Bears played the Raiders. Like, my God, that guy, he's gonna be a player. Man.
That's all he showed, though.
Yeah,
brags.
That's about it.
We are one of the worst run defenses in the league. We knew that was going to happen.
Not anymore. We're not. They look at how well they played against Washington. I will not have you besmirch our great run defense from Monday night.
We moved up a few spots. That's right. We're 28.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we are.
All right. Well, that's some things to consider. I'm sure this is a conversation that will evolve over the next few weeks. See how the Bears do, see how many games they win, see what players are still available, and see what this trade market, because every year it does feel like the trade deadline is more and more of back in the day, no one was traded at the trade deadline.
Right.
Now it's kind of like the baseball trade deadline. And Ryan Poles is not afraid to pull the trigger. He's traded for Chase Claypool at the trade deadline, and he's traded for Montez Sweat.
I want that one back.
Trade deadline.
Can we get that one back?
Yeah, don't watch our reaction show to that one, please. Okay, Steven, make sure you delete that one from our YouTube.
I'm gonna repost it.
No, go ahead.
Don't bring that name up.
It's a fun watch, and you can see just how stupid I truly am. So
Bayless.
we're going to take a time out here, and when we come back, we're going to give you the blueprint to beating the New Orleans Saints here on Sunday. Is it a trap game? We'll discuss here in 2 minutes. Just like your favorite team needs a home field advantage, your home needs a home floor advantage, and Empire Today can help you get that. Empire Today has flooring experts, dedicated flooring professionals who focus on flooring every single day of the week. We've all been to those big box stores. They might have a flooring department, but the person helping you with flooring may have been doing plumbing yesterday, and we know plumbers don't know anything. It's just the bricklayers and the flooring guys that do. So make sure you hit up Empire Today to get clear, upfront, and all-inclusive pricing. Schedule a free in-home estimate today, because some things are just better at home. CHGO listeners can receive a $350 discount when using the promo code CHGO. Yes, you heard that right. A $350 discount when using the code CHGO. Restrictions apply. Visit EmpireToday.com/CHGO for full details. Really appreciate Empire Today and their sponsorship here to the Brick by Brick program. And, of course, got to give a shout-out to our good friends over at Shady Rays. They are changing the game, ladies and gentlemen. These sunglasses are made for real life, seriously good-looking, polarized, durable, and not stupidly expensive, most importantly. We all know that moment when you realize you've left your favorite sunglasses at the beach or on the roof of your car or at the stadium. Well, we've all been there, but here is the wild part about Shady Rays. This is honestly the best thing about them. If you lose or break a pair, even on day one, Shady Rays will send you a brand new pair, no guilt trip, just replacements. So now I actually wear my sunglasses without fear. Shady Rays is eyewear that has your back. We've teamed up with Shady Rays to bring you an exclusive offer. Head to ShadyRays.com and use the code CHGO for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades, rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. We're back here on the Brick by Brick podcast as Lance gets closer and closer to the screen.
My goodness, man. Back up. Back up.
And he's muted, too. There's a lot going on Briggs'
Oh, my
end.
goodness.
You're muted, just so you know. It's okay.
He's back.
I was just saying, I was trying to see you guys. That's all.
Yeah, for sure. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday. Well, for a noon game for Bears versus Saints.
It's been a while.
We finally don't have to do a brick by brick after show at 2 in the morning. And shout out to all of you. We'll remember the ones that stayed in the chat at 2 in the morning.
That's right.
Even the guys that won the Brickhead comments of the day, because those are the loyal ones that were staying with us till 2 a.m. We'll have our brick by brick after show at a more reasonable hour in the afternoon after the Bears take on the Saints. So make sure you tune into all our game day coverage from pregame to postgame to the brick by brick after show. So let's get into it. The blueprint to beating the New Orleans Saints. And as we always do, we'll start with you, El Boogie. What is your 2 keys to beating the Saints?
First thing you got to do is build on the run game. 14 carries, 100 and some so yards. We have to build on something that we're trending. Our offensive line, they're opening holes. Let's continue to do that. Let's do that against the Saints because no matter what, if you can run the ball, you can find a lot of success. You can control the clock. You can control the time. And you can and it can play into your favor. Extending drives, keep your defense off the field, and when they do get on the field, let them get it back to you, and then wear their defense out. In the fourth quarter, you find a ton of holes. That's when those small chunks turn to big chunks, and we turn them into 6 points.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, we all want to see the fireworks, right, Jerry? Like we all like seeing the 60-yard flea flicker touchdowns, but I think we talked about it on the after show. You know, if this can become their identity where they're running the football like this, they could be a very dangerous team and a serious playoff contender.
Well, they basically showed us that they can do it. You know, they showed us that they can run the football. So Lance
against a good run defense.
Against a good run defense. So we need to come out, and the first thing we need to do is we need to. I mean, is everybody okay? But we need to get after them on the ground. Definitely have to get after them.
There's always somebody coughing or sneezing.
I mean, what is going on? Is the pollen count high over there?
Listen, fellas, let's focus on the task.
Well, I can't focus.
We have another
it's very hard to focus.
We have another blueprint here. All right.
Okay, back to running the football.
Key number 2.
My goodness.
Well, key number 2 is to play disciplined football. Believe it or not, the Saints actually commit more penalties than the Bears do. 7 more. They committed 50 penalties up to this point. So if we play disciplined football, that will allow us to basically allow the Saints to shoot themselves in the foot. You know, something that the Bears don't normally do. Doesn't normally happen to the Bears, but the other team can shoot themselves in the foot and lose the game for themselves.
We'll give them a run for their money.
Well, man.
Because our MO right now is we like to do that too. So
10 penalties a game. Maybe we will be doing the brick by brick after show at 1 a.m. because the game's going to take 10 hours because of the amount of penalties they're going to have to sift through between these two teams.
30 penalties
coming up on Sunday. All right, Jerry, let's get into yours. Your 2 keys for the blueprint of beating the Saints.
Well, Caleb Williams is coming into his own, and obviously Rome Odunze is the number 1 option right now. That's what it's looking like. But take shots against the Saints secondary and their DBs. They're not really that great in the back end. So I want to see the ball being aired out. You know, I want to see great protection, which I think that we've gotten. Caleb Williams hasn't been getting sacked like crazy, but I want to see strikes down the football field. I want to see deep in cuts. I want to see deep over routes. Colston, let's get him involved into the passing game.
There it is. I was just about to say
throw
that.
the ball deep. Because he's a what? He's a top what? He's a top what pick?
If we're going to take shots, at least let us see our number 10 pick. You know what I mean? Give us at least 3 to 4 shots at Colston Loveland catching the ball. I want
to see him featured. That's what I want to see. I want to see our tight ends featured, and I want to see them spin. They're big targets that can run, and I feel like this year they haven't gotten the ball the way that they should have gotten the ball, but especially Colston. You are a top 10 pick. I want to see them implement him into the offense. I want to see deep strikes because that's what he can do. He can create mismatches against the Saints secondary. And the Saints secondary is not really that great. So there's opportunities to light it up. And even though, you know, Booty scored all those field goals, you know, the money that jingles, I want to see the money that folds. I want to see touchdowns. I want to see the ball in the air, and I want to see them scoring touchdowns. Like, we like seeing the money that jingles, but we'd rather have the money that folds. So let's bring those touchdowns on.
Come on now. I want to see top 10 pickish type stuff.
Exactly.
Well, he's certainly got a lot of money that folds in his pocket after being a top 10 pick. Hopefully you find the pay dirt to pay the Bears back a little bit.
It's time. We need to see it now.
So how about your second key to the game there, Azumah?
So take shots was the first one, but we have to minimize Alvin Kamara. So he is a really great back. He can do it all. He can run between the tackles. He can bounce the ball outside. He's really good out of the backfield when he's catching the ball as well. So we have to be aware of him at all times because he's the type of guy that can crease and can gash you at anywhere on the football field, and he is a weapon that they will look towards as well. So they will get him involved and be creative with him. We just have to minimize him. I think that he's going to get his fair touches and his yards, but if we can minimize him, keep him out of the end zone, it increases our chance for success.
Yeah, there's another guy that I think some Bears fans thought The Bears might try to get, but it doesn't sound like he's going anywhere. He's loyal to New Orleans, but I know some Bears fans were looking at him. All right, my 2 keys, Steven, I'm going to start with, Briggs, you're going to be proud of me, my number 1 key for this week as we continue to evolve on offense. Get your tight ends involved.
There you go.
Get your tight ends involved. It's time. It's past time.
It's past.
We're using the tight ends a lot here in this offense to block,
Yep.
and they've certainly done a really good job here. If you watch the tape and we'll go back and watch these games, tight ends are blocking their asses off, in this offense, including on Monday night. But we need to start getting some production from them in the passing game
Right now.
And Colston Loveland was injured for a few weeks. He came back. Had a BS call on him to start the game, but then he disappeared, until the end. There's only one football, to go around. There's certainly a lot of different targets on the field. I know everybody's going to continue to pick on Colston Loveland because Tyler Warren is having a standout rookie season.
The Colts are finding him?
Yeah, the Colts are finding him. So it's time to find Colston Loveland, but I will stand on this hill, Lance Briggs. Colston Loveland is a good football player, and just because we have not seen it yet doesn't mean that isn't the case. And I'm promising you, as your friend, that Colston Loveland will eventually show you who he is and who he's capable of being as a top 10 tight end in this league. He showed it throughout training camp. He's a willing blocker. He's a physical blocker. And that's where it starts.
We got him to block. We got him to block.
If you want to be on the field as a tight end, you have to be able to block. Then you can get out.
Man, throw the football to him.
All right.
Damn the blocking.
And he's got speed for days.
Well, let's see it.
He is a speed demon.
See it.
And so I'm excited for him to show everyone, including Lance Briggs, just how good of a player he is going to be. Don't sneak.
Hey,
pump him up.
Hey. Listen, the Detroit Lions have no problem getting the ball to Laporta. Okay, Laporta's name became more of a household name in the NFL because of his play in a Ben Johnson offense. So now we have Colston Loveland. We also have Cole Kmet. It should be no problem being able to get the ball to these guys if we can block up front. Okay, and our quarterback can move and pick and choose where he needs to get with that ball. Take what the defense gives us, but hell, if somehow Laporta finds a way to be open all the damn time, we have guys that are tight ends on our team that can play that I believe at a very high level. We should be able to get the ball to them.
Especially this week. This is the week where they should be getting the ball. Like, they should be trying to force the ball to them almost, because the secondary with the Saints are not that good. They give up a lot of yards. They give up a lot of touchdowns as well. So we need to exploit this secondary, and we need to let the ball fly. Like, it's time for Kevin Williams to let the ball fly, and it's time for Ben Johnson to get creative and scheme up ways where we can get these tight ends open. We need to see it. Show us the
tall 6'6" frame. Show us the strength. Show us the speed, and show us the hands. All right, that's all I'm saying.
If I had to ask you guys, so over the last 3 seasons under Ben Johnson, the Lions were top 3 in the league in 12 personnel usage. Where would you say the Bears are right now this season?
Not that.
I would have thought. I know because they used a lot of 11 personnel in the Washington game, which was an adjustment. Yeah. I would have said after the first 4 games they were in the top 5. Is that not correct?
Right. So right now they're at number 8. So it's possible prior to the Commanders game they were there. But, I mean, I think that's something we're going to see an uptick in now with Colston Loveland healthy again, for one. And then we did see quite a bit of Durham Smythe kind of in that Brock Wright role for the Lions. You know, he was the blocking tight end. We saw a lot of that from Smythe in Vegas, particularly in the second half. I'm thinking we're going to see a pretty decent uptick now in 12 personnel usage, and I think that's where you're going to see more production out of both Cole Kmet and Colston Loveland.
Do we know how many catches Cole Kmet has? We don't really know, but Cole Kmet is a good tight end too. He's a good receiving tight end as well, and I feel like, you know, especially like the throws that are right over the football field should go to Kmet. Yeah. He's a big target. You know, throw the ball to him, get these first downs going, and let's get this offense being productive again.
Cole Kmet has 8 catches on the year so far, so not a lot. I mean, as I said, they're really
let's tick these things up.
I think there's a few factors that come into it. Tight end's got to be better. Cole's got to be better. There's times where he's had opportunities to catch the ball, he hasn't. Colston Loveland hasn't been healthy. Caleb Williams has got to look at the tight ends.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta put these guys in position as a play caller. You know, they're throwing screens to Cole on the outside.
I don't want to see that.
They're not working. Okay,
I don't want to see that.
Throw that screen to Colston Loveland. He's the one with the speed.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think there's a few different factors at play.
Throw it to Luther
In terms of where, and that's why I'm saying this should be a point of emphasis to just get this going. You have two very talented tight ends, and as a play caller in Ben Johnson and as a quarterback in Caleb Williams, you got to find a way to give him the football. To your question about Sam Laporta, or your point about Sam Laporta, Lance, you know, in Sam Laporta's rookie year, he played all 17 games, had almost 900 yards receiving and 10 touchdowns.
Man.
Last year, there was a little bit of a dip in his second year, surprisingly enough. Only 60 catches. He had 86 his first year and only 725 yards as opposed to the 900 and only 7.
But they were looking at him.
But, yeah, he's a huge part of the offense.
Looks.
So, you know, Sam Laporta sprung onto the scene right away, and it just hasn't happened yet for Colston Loveland. I did see the snap usage was close to 50-50. I think it was 52% for Cole, 47 for Colston Loveland. So you're already starting to see the tides turning in that regard as well. And you saw on the final drive of the game on a crucial third down when they got down to score for Moody. Yes, DeAndre Swift had all the big runs, but Colston Loveland had the big catch. So that's a good sign in terms of trust.
I would like to see them use the tight ends also in the red zone.
Yeah.
You know, whenever we get to the red zone, like, let's use these big targets that are big, strong, and fast, and, like, let's throw the ball to them and see what they can do.
Yep. And
I know Cole's caught one. Cole's caught a couple in the end zone.
He's been very productive in the red zone.
Yeah, Cole had the one against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
But it's time to get those other guys involved. But, hey, however it works, just get into that pay dirt. I don't care who's scoring, but it would be nice to get Colston Loveland going here soon because I'm excited for him to show Briggs what he's all about. I know he's capable of it. Speaking of the red zone, my final point of emphasis and key to this game is to contain Taysom Hill. He is a playmaker for this team. He is a red zone threat for this team. And so if the Saints find their way into the red zone, you got to know where Taysom Hill is at all times. You got to have a game plan to make sure that you're keeping him contained, because when he gets outside, he can be a problem for
he's
you.
a wrecker.
And we saw in the Raiders game, obviously a much different player, Ashton Genty. When he was getting out on the edge, the Bears were having trouble getting him down. Taysom Hill is somebody that a lot of teams have trouble getting down. So he's the one guy to me that I'm looking at like he's kind of a wild card because he can also throw the football as well. And so you got to be careful with this dude. When you're talking about this potentially being a trap game, and maybe the Bears haven't earned the right to call anybody a trap game.
Absolutely not. What are we talking about?
The trap game. I'm surprised you even said that.
We get ahead of ourselves.
I think a trap game is by definition, like on NFL Network, every analyst picked the Bears to beat the Saints. That to me, that now it falls under the definition, just the general definition of a trap game. Now, to your guys' point, the Bears haven't earned. They're not a good team. So
Braggs, the Eagles can have a trap game. The Chiefs can have a trap game. The Ravens can have a trap game. The Bears are not ready to have a trap game yet. No, we're fighting. We're fighting to become more relevant in the playoff system.
Yeah, I agree with that. That being said, it's not the Commanders on Monday night prime time where you have your ears perked up. It's the Saints at home that you're favored. You've won 3 in a row. So I do think there are some things that lead you into what normally is defined as a trap game. But it is Dennis Allen going up against the team that just fired him. It is Caleb Williams facing off against Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, great stories.
You know, those two guys,
great
Caleb
stories.
took his job.
Yeah.
You know, and Ben Johnson, he doesn't overlook anybody, so I know he's not going to fall into the trap. So we'll see. Not a trap game. Maybe it's a trap game.
Zoom, what are we doing?
I don't know what we're doing.
But that wraps things. What
It's
do
the NFL.
I'll
Anybody
tell
can
you
get
what
beat.
we're doing. We're going to start making some people money. That wraps things up for our Blueprint segment. And now we'll take you into our award-winning segment, and that's with our good friends over at Circa Sports and, of course, Da Bets. That's right. We are talking NFL Week 7 picks with our good friends over at Circa Sports, and we're breaking them down and making our picks and getting our lines from Circa Sports Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circasports.com. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, we'll start it out with the Bears. Jerry.
-5, huh? I like it. This will not be a trap game. The Bears will win by at least 5 points, and they will go over because I expect a lot of touchdowns. I think Williams is going to rip the ball down the football field and connect with a lot of targets to score touchdowns. Like touchdowns, field goals are cool, but it's going to be touchdowns. I have the Bears smashing the Saints. This will not be a trap game.
5-point favorites for the Bears. 46.5 over under. 5-point favorites, Briggs. Still not a trap game?
It's not.
It's not a trap game.
It's not a. It's not a. You might tricks. And listen, I know it's Halloween season, but tricks are for kids, Holmes. And this is not a trap game.
Yeah, the Bears should dominate this game. They should dominate this game. They're feeling good. They're on a 3-game win streak. They're looking towards the Saints to beat them up really good and then continue this run. Like, it feels good to win. The Bears are finding ways to win close games. Now I want to see them blow somebody out. And it's the perfect opportunity to go down to the Saints and basically just get their hands on them and choke them out. Yeah. It's time. I want to see it.
Looking forward to it. Let's look at the NFL slate real quick. We're going to wrap things up here shortly. Steven's got some things to get to here at the CHGO Sports Studios, but we always want to make sure we're letting you guys know what's going on with Circa Sports Illinois. So here's the NFL slate. You got Steelers at Bengals coming up in just a few minutes on Thursday Night Football. Rams at Jags in London. Another morning game. Always like those morning games. Get your day started on Sunday. Eagles at Vikings. Will J.J. McCarthy play? He was limited in practice, so there's still kind of a question on whether or not he'll play against the Eagles. That's going to be a big one for the Vikings. Yep, the Colts at Chargers. Chargers trying to bounce back here, and the Colts. Are they for real?
They're going to throw the ball to Warren.
Yeah, they're going to throw the ball to Warren. That's for sure. You got Packers at Cardinals. We'll see how that one goes.
Let's go Cardinals.
Let's go Cardinals.
Come on, man.
Sure. Commanders at Cowboys at 325. See if the Cowboys can keep the Commanders on a losing streak. Get the Commanders under 500. Always fun watching Washington fans sweat a little bit. And then the Falcons at 49ers on Sunday Night Football.
That should be a good one.
You got 2 Monday night games, but the one the Bears fans will be keeping their eye on is Bucks at Lions.
Let's go, Baker.
Yeah, so should be interesting.
MVP right now.
Yeah, MVP.
Yeah, I think Mahomes might be
Baker. Let's go, Baker.
Mahomes is getting Rasheed Rice back this week too. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm over that.
Jags are
Mahomes. We're over that.
Jags are Rams are 3-point favorites over the Jags. The Eagles are 2-point favorites over the Vikings. The Colts or the Chargers are 1.5-point favorites over the Colts. The Packers are 6.5-point favorites over the Cardinals. A big number
Cardinals.
there. Commanders a 1.5-point favorite over the Cowboys. That I think will be a really interesting game. The 49ers are a 2-point favorite over the Falcons. So some things to consider. And then the Lions are a 5.5-point favorite over the Bucks. That's a pretty big number there.
It's a really big number. I'm surprised by that one.
Last week, Steven, you called it with the Lions and the Chiefs. The Lions were road favorites. The Chiefs were home dogs, and you said, give me the Chiefs all day, and you were proven right. The Chiefs won that.
Convincingly right.
Convincingly right. So now you got the Lions and Bucks. The Lions are prohibitive favorites at home, 5.5 points, but the Bucks, Baker Mayfield, MVP candidate. What do you think, Mr.?
He might be short. Baker might be short several targets this week. Emeka Egbuka likely not going to play. He got injured in that game last week. Mike Evans, questionable. He hasn't played the last several games. We'll see if he's able to get back. Chris Godwin, also questionable, maybe more on the doubtful side of it too. So, you might be missing your top 3 targets. Not to mention Bucky Irving, their star running back, will not be playing in that game either.
Okay,
I'm going to take the Lions reluctantly. I hope I'm wrong on that one, but that's a lot of offensive weaponry that the Buccaneers are now missing.
Let's go, Baker.
Yeah, let's go, Baker.
Let's go, Baker. Figure it out.
All right. Well, that wraps things up here for the Brick by Brick podcast, and we appreciate everyone for hanging out. Please, once again, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Come out to our tailgate on Sunday at the corner of Wabash and Cermak. Go to chgo.com/events to get your tickets to that, or to our October 26th watch along. That is at Joe's on Weed Street. We'll all be there, and we'll be having fun with you, so make sure you come through. So thank you to Steven, as always, for his hard work and dedication to Brick by Brick, CHGO Bears, and CHGO Sports. And, of course, thank you to Jerry Azumah and Lance Briggs. Always an honor to talk football and work with you fine gentlemen. So we'll see you all on game day on Sunday. Don't miss our pregame show or our 2 postgame shows, and we'll be back and better than ever. Appreciate everyone. Enjoy your Thursday night football and keep your head up. And always bear down.
We all silly like the mayor.